Hi, my name is Amy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about what we are doing for my 3rd and 5th grader this year. So if you saw my last video, you know that My Father's World does a family learning cycle. So my 3rd and 5th grader will be in the same curriculum this year. So this year we are doing From Rome to Reformation. So From Rome to Reformation comes with mini books. So the first thing we have is our teacher manual, which once again lays out everything I need to do in a very orderly fashion. Now what some people choose to do with this, instead of making sure that they do everything every day, if it gets a little overwhelming for them, they will simply start at the top and work their way down until they're done with school that day, and then they'll just pick up where they left off on the following day, and that works really well for some people. So next we have our Bible and Science. For Bible and Science we have how the Bible came to us, the story of the book that changed the world. So it's all about how the Bible was written and how it was translated and all sorts of things like that. It'll be very interesting to get into that this year. The body book. So this is a book that gives you instructions on how to make different little diagrams and figures for the kids to play with. So I think that'll be really fun this year. The First Encyclopedia of the Human Body, which is an Usborne book. Charlie's already looked through this one. She loves this kind of book. So we'll get to go through that this year. The Wonderful Way That Babies Are Made, which I haven't previewed this one yet, but I'm excited to get into that with the children. It's always good to have something to guide you through that tough discussion. So it'll be interesting to go through that book. And then we have The Human Body for Every Kid. Easy activities that make learning science fun. So this is full of all sorts of fun experiments that I'm sure my kids will absolutely love. And then we have Gallon and the Gateway to Medicine. This one doesn't look as exciting, but I'm sure it's full of fun information about how medicine was evolved over the early years. And then after we learn about the human body, we'll also be learning about astronomy this year. So that'll be very interesting. This book is from Apologia. We love the stars, so it'll be fun to learn about astronomy. And then for history and literature, you have Augustus Caesar's World, 44 BC to AD 14. We're going through that one. And then the Roman Empire. So this is a, we did one like this last year too, and it has lots of neat little crafts and stuff in it to try. I think we might try and actually do a few more of them. I would always forget to look ahead and to see what we needed for this book, but this year I'll try and be better about that. And then the Medieval World, and also Ancient World. I think we'll be finishing up Ancient World. We started that last year, and then moving on to Medieval World. These are both Usborne books as well. And then The Story of the World, Volume 2. And I've heard really good things about this book and Volume 1, so I actually did order Volume 1 for us to just maybe read on our own. But this is The Story of the World, Volume 2, that goes with the curriculum. I guess I don't know where this fits in, but this is English from the Roots Up. We're learning Latin and Greek. We started this last year with the Greek. We actually gave up partway through the year, but I think this year I'm just going to change things up a little bit and continue to do it. Instead of doing as much as they have to, I think I will at least make sure that we go over each word and what they mean. For the read alouds, we have Trial and Triumph, Stories from Church History, The Door in the Wall, Twice Freed, Dangerous Journey, which is the story of Pilgrim's Progress told for children. That looks like an interesting one. And The Bronze Bow. And we also have Starting Chess, which Charlie already looked through. She's pretty interested in chess, so it'll be fun for us to learn how to do chess together this year, because I know the basics, but I'm not very good at it. And then Make a Castle. I got two, one for Charlie and one for Danny. I didn't get one for Ellie as well. I probably should have, but that's okay. And then also from last year, we'll be using Streams of Civilization again. I found this book a little dry for the young ages I'm teaching last year, but we'll see if we can pick some information out of it this year as well. And then also the Illustrated Family Bible. This is a wonderful Bible. Even if you're not homeschooling, I suggest you get this Bible. It's from DK, and it tells the stories. It's not a word for word from the Bible, but it does give the like where it came from, and it'll skip some of the more boring parts for children to sit through. And it has little exclamations about things that you like. I've learned a lot just looking through this. Like I don't know, just has little exclamations and everything, and beautiful artwork. It's just very beautiful. So this is a great book. Got in the history of art. I'm not sure what all we'll be doing with the history of art. We have 1 and 2. They both came with the curriculum last year, and so we'll be going through and finishing up this art curriculum this year, and then next year we'll move on to something different. So for math, I've got the math lessons for a living education. So for my first grader, I got level 1. So it goes all the way from teaching about tracing their numbers, identifying numbers, all the way to tally marks and 2-digit numbers at the end. So it says, we learn numbers 0 to 9, all the way to review of numbers to 100, skip counting tens and tally marks. Some of this stuff we went over last year, so we'll see. Maybe she'll get through it super quick and we can move on to level 2. But otherwise, that's level 1. And then for my third grader, I got level 3, which goes from a review of place value, odds and evens, countings by 2s, 5s, and 10s, all the way to Roman numerals. So, some time. List of solutions. All the way to some fractions, rounding, addition of money. So, and for level 5, for my 5th grader, so that goes from the review of all addition and subtraction, review of all decimal concepts, multiplying and dividing by tens, hundreds, and 1,000s, introducing to 2-digit divisors, all the way to making change. So, yeah, we'll see how she does with that. My 3rd and 5th grader are not the strongest in math, so hopefully this isn't too challenging for them, but we'll see. We can always adjust accordingly as we go. And then also, I went ahead and bought the teaching companion, which I believe it said just has a lot of extra like activities you can do and things to help them out. So I thought that would be a good thing for me to have. And then for English, so for 1st grade, her English is in with her 1st grade curriculum, which I went over in a previous video. And then for 3rd grade, we're sticking with language lessons for today because I own it. So I mean, they're okay. I think really more I'm getting bored because I've been through it. Well, this will be my 2nd time through it, but it just has like really pretty artwork and goes over oral narration, parts of a book, and so it's a good study. But I thought we would try something new with my 5th grader. They have poems to memorize. So for my 5th grader, I went ahead and ordered language lessons for a living education. Let's see. Lesson 1 starts with story, analogy, nouns, sentences, reading, and easy rules words. And it ends with story writing, 4th quarter review, book report, 4th quarter spelling review. Oh, I like that it has spelling words built right in. I think we'll probably still finish up her spelling. Oh, I forgot to grab that. We also do spelling power. And so I think she's almost done with that. She's almost finished all the levels. So I think we'll probably finish that up too. But then what I really liked about the reviews of this book was that it just talked about how it was very story based. You would read a story and then kind of go on from there. So I'm just excited to see how she likes this, how I like it, and how well it works with our other curriculum. So that is, I believe, oh, and if you order the package, you do get the story of Mozart, the story of Beethoven, and Haydn, but we're just not doing that. We're not a big musical family, and I just never get to it, so I didn't order it this year. I should probably try and fit music into our curriculum, and if one of my kids showed interest, I definitely would, but you know, I have some of the other classical CDs from previous years, so I might just play those in the background while we're learning, but sometimes it gets distracting for my children. So maybe I'll just play it in the background while we're cleaning. But yeah, so that is our 3rd and 5th grade curriculum. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for my next video. Goodbye.